China's military is preparing for the wars of tomorrow. Its pilots are flying newer aircraft, learning tougher tactics and training harder than ever before. But before a war is ever fought, sometimes lives are lost simply preparing for it. China's military rarely admits when its own personnel die in training. But two quiet disclosures from local governments last week have pulled back the curtain on the deaths of two naval pilots, one of them a senior commander, during frontline flight exercises last month. Neither Beijing nor state media have addressed the deaths directly. What is known comes instead from hometown notices, memorial services, and a tombstone inscription pieced together by local reporters. The timing is notable. China has been pushing an aggressive overhaul of its armed forces, training pilots harder on newer aircraft and tactics as it prepares for the demands of modern warfare. These deaths are a rare glimpse of the human cost behind that push. According to a report by Hefei Daily on July 3rd, the more senior of the two, 38-year-old Fang Ming, was a senior colonel and tactical commander with the PLA Southern Theater Command Naval Aviation Unit. He came from Lujiang County in the central province of Anhui and had served since 2006. Local authorities said Fang died during flight training on June 10th. More than 200 people, including personnel from his own unit, attended his memorial service on July 3rd, where he was formally recognized as a martyr. He had been decorated twice before, with a third-class merit in 2018 and a second-class merit for combat readiness in 2022.
His aspiration was to defend our country's skies and seas. He put the greater good before his own family, devoting all of his energy to safeguarding the nation's maritime defense.
The second pilot, 25-year-old First Lieutenant Shi Shaoyong, died the same day, also under the Southern Theater Command. Whether the two men were on the same aircraft or the same mission has not been established. An inscription on Shi's tombstone, shared by his hometown government on July 4th, recorded that he died during a night flight training mission. Shi was from Yishui County in Shandong Province and flew with Unit 91,911, a separate division within Southern Theater Command Naval Aviation. Shi had enlisted in 2019, held a Class 4 pilot rating, and once earned a third-class merit. After training, he volunteered for deployment on the South China Sea front line, according to local outlet Linyi News. Like Fang, he was honored as a martyr. Neither pilot's aircraft has been officially identified. Past reporting suggests Unit 91,911 flies helicopters, but that remains unconfirmed for this incident. For now, the two deaths stand as isolated fragments of information, surfacing not from Beijing, but from the towns left to bury their own.
China has entered the race for Middle East fighter jet supremacy, pushing its J-35 stealth aircraft as an alternative to American and Russian platforms in a region hungry for advanced military hardware. The competition played out at last week's Dubai Air Show, where the United States, Russia and China showcased their fifth-generation fighters to potential buyers from across the Gulf. A model of China's J-35, manufactured by China National Aerotechnology Import and Export Corporation, sat in static display whilst an American F-35 and Russian Su-57 took to the skies in separate aerial demonstrations. The J-35, designed originally for China's Fujian aircraft carrier, shares visual similarities with the American F-35, but remains largely untested in combat operations. Unlike China's first fifth-generation fighter, the J-20, which cannot be exported, the J-35 has been offered to overseas buyers at international defence exhibitions since its unveiling in Zhuhai last November. Gareth Jennings, aviation editor at global military intelligence company Janes, told South China Morning Post that the aircraft could appeal to clients excluded from Western systems or those wanting faster delivery without political constraints.
Its chief obstacle to export success is that it remains an unknown quantity in terms of capabilities, build quality, reliability, etc.
According to SCMP, the Gulf monarchies have already purchased Chinese ballistic missiles and armed drones, with Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE among the buyers. An SCMP report quoted David Roberts, an expert in international security and Middle East studies at King's College London, saying that the region's air forces were keen on high-end technology from China, but practical obstacles remained.
These are complex machines that require a vast and decades-long training, logistical and procurement package. You cannot just plug and play them, switching as geopolitical whims change.
The timing of China's Middle East push coincides with United States President Donald Trump's announcement approving F-35 sales to Saudi Arabia, days before Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to Washington. The move reverses previous American restrictions on selling advanced stealth fighters to the region, though congressional approval remains uncertain given laws requiring Israel to maintain military superiority over regional adversaries. Israel operates approximately 46 F-35s, widely considered the world's most advanced fighter jet, with exports to 12 countries completed and several more awaiting delivery. A similar deal for the UAE collapsed under the Biden administration in 2021 over concerns about Abu Dhabi's military cooperation with China and potential technology security breaches. Russia's Su-57, meanwhile, has secured Algeria as its first and only confirmed overseas buyer, though the exact number of aircraft remains unclear. International sanctions following Moscow's invasion of Ukraine have raised questions about Russia's ability to deliver aircraft on schedule or provide long-term maintenance support. Analysts say the Gulf states use events like the Dubai Air Show to demonstrate independence from Washington whilst keeping Western defence suppliers attentive to their needs. But any major shift away from American platforms would require overcoming decades of established training programs, maintenance infrastructure, and operational doctrine built around Western equipment.